the day. He had a 4-hour work day.
Let me just tell you,
his own team said
I will only vote for the Democratic candidate in 2028 that
I believe
removes Trump's presidential portraits and replaces them with photos of him and Epstein. So many photos of him and Epstein. More photos than me and my own grandparents, I feel like. It's just Trump
I'm
and
still
Epstein
looking forward to the
over.
auto pin.
So that was friend of the show, friend of mine, Adam Mockler of Midas Touch, founder of Mockler Media, kicking ass and taking names on a CNN panel, his latest, in which he goes up against MAGA Republicans like Ben Ferguson, who is Ted Cruz's sidekick. And you know you have to be just a monstrously repulsive person if you are the sidekick of somebody as unlikable as Ted Cruz, but humiliating them to their faces on live TV. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, I apologize in advance. I've got either a sinus infection or the flu, still wrestling with that. And this panel, like that, made me laugh, and it's prone to trigger a coughing fit. So as you know, I like to celebrate the success and accomplishments of peers in the space, particularly those who are friends of mine like Luke Beasley and Adam Mockler. Mockler's been on CNN multiple times. This one might be. It's up there. It's one of my favorite panels. He went up against Scott Jennings, and Ben Ferguson is one of the more unlikable MAGA talking heads on CNN alongside Jennings. Before we play some of these other clips, I just want to say what Mockler said was in response to Trump going out of his way to create a presidential hall of fame and replacing President Biden's portrait with a portrait of an auto pen, right? And they won't shut up about it. They're like, see, look what we did there. And so Mockler's saying, well, the Democratic candidate I vote for is going to be one who's going to match that pettiness and replace Trump's 2 presidential portraits, because he was elected, to 2 non-consecutive terms, with pictures of him and Epstein. I thought that was a brilliant idea. That made me laugh my ass off last night. I nearly coughed myself to death, but that was hilarious. And I agree. I think that if it's Gavin Newsom, AOC, whoever the front runner is, whoever the Democratic candidate who wants to win my vote, one of the things they need to say is we're gonna respond and reciprocate some of that pettiness. So here's another clip.
Congress.
Hold on, let me let Adam get a word in.
Yeah, I like how Ben tried to invoke Trump's mugshot as some sort of proof or some sort of way to handwave this, which you're conceding in that they are politicizing the government. You're not even denying, neither the conservatives on this panel are denying that Trump is politicizing the government. You just invoke Trump's mugshot.
No, I didn't. I said that.
Is there
I
a
said
single,
James Comey allowed that to happen.
can you show me a tweet from Biden asking his DOJ or asking
You'd
his
have to
attorney
ask the other
general?
pen.
So there's no tweet from Biden asking his attorney general to
Joe
directly
Biden
go
didn't
after
tweet,
3
but
people.
she also didn't president.
Is there any line from President Biden saying go after these 3 people? If you can't point that to me, then you invoking Trump's mugshot is trying to both sides this when this is a clear weaponization of the DOJ.
What Biden did, he wrote a letter going after parents in Virginia and putting them on an FBI watch list. He went after Catholics.
You can't
No, he didn't. Biden didn't write any sort of letter like that. She's referring to Merrick Garland, and even that, she's misrepresenting the facts on this. Merrick Garland and Joe Biden are famously 2 separate people. So this Republican strategist is wrong as well and humiliated herself in that exchange. But Mockler's right in the sense that Donald Trump has taken unprecedented steps to try to weaponize the federal government and the Justice Department against his opponents in ways that President Biden never did. I have no doubt that personally, President Biden probably wanted Trump to be prosecuted, convicted, and sent to prison. And he's entitled to that personal preference. What he's not allowed to do is articulate those personal preferences in ways which could influence the outcome of actual prosecution. I don't think he would be allowed, would be permitted. And even if he were constitutionally permitted, I think it would be wildly inappropriate and unethical for Trump to have gone to Attorney General Merrick Garland and say, hey, prosecute him and make sure you arrest him. Because there's supposed to be a degree of separation between the White House and the Justice Department. Donald Trump has evaporated that distance. He has closed the gap, and he uses the Justice Department like it's his personal law firm, litigating his grudges. And President Biden never did that. So President Biden's moral superiority is just a matter of objective fact. And that's why Ben Ferguson and this lady have nothing in response to that.
What a question.
100%. So this is not a surprise that we're like sitting here.
Hunter Biden was being investigated during Biden's term. Do you think Don Jr. would ever be investigated by Pam Bondi?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Wait, hold on. If he did a crime, I think, yeah.
No, he would not.
By the way,
Donald Trump Jr.
Even Dan Abrams, I don't know if you see it there, but to Adam's right is the blonde Republican strategist, and to her right is Dana Abrams, who's kind of the centrist lawyer, top legal analyst for ABC. He was the founder of Mediaite, and even he's laughing at that. Like, oh, come on, there's no fucking way that Donald Trump would ever permit the prosecution or investigation of his children by his DOJ.
The Biden crime family.
You know that's not true.
Wait, let's be clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's be clear about Hunter Biden and what Hunter Biden did. If Don
that wasn't
Jr.
the question.
sitting on the board of Burisma right now
Pam Bondi wouldn't do
and
anything.
was taking massive amounts of money, I
gotta
have
make
no
it
doubt.
crypto money
Again, I
on
actually
deals that the
think that
president-
laws matter.
That's he's so pathetic, right? There's no way, and he has no evidence to even remotely substantiate the claim that Trump would permit the investigation of his children on his watch, or that Pam Bondi would ever launch such an investigation. And by the way, Hunter Biden sitting on the board of Burisma was not in and of itself a crime, and did not itself merit investigation. Well, he wouldn't have gotten on the board if not for his father. It's nepotism. Nepotism does not inherently break the law. And there was no actual evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden broke the law simply by Hunter Biden sitting on the board of Burisma, to say nothing of the fact that the corruption of the Trump family is infinitely greater than anything ever associated with the most maximalist interpretation of the Biden family.
One second, hold on one second. It's just too many people talking at one time. Make your comments so that we can actually hear it.
Yeah, if you had Don Jr. painting paintings and selling them for six figures, but by the way, nobody else right now. I absolutely believe there would be an investigation, because honestly, I don't think that my side is okay to do things like that.
Tom Homan was found taking $50,000 bribes. Where's the investigation? Will you call for an investigation on Tom Homan?
So now he's just immediately convicted by you.
That's a little different.
No, I'm saying
thank you. I think we're being.
See, Ben's really stupid. Oh, so he's immediately convicted by you. No, Mockler said investigation, asshole, not conviction. You have to get to an investigation before you get to conviction. Oh, so you want investigation? I guess that means he must be convicted. No, that's not how investigations inherently turn out. And that's how you know Ferguson's just wrong on the facts. Like there was an investigation into this by the FBI against Tom Homan. Are you calling for that? Do you support that? Oh, in order to support an investigation, you must be ready right now to convict the person responsible. No, it's what the investigation is designed to determine. Pretty weak. Here's another clip.
But I don't think there's any argument that Trump and his family are profiteering off the White House. There's no question about whether or not it's crypto scams, whether or not it's
finger painting.
Whether or not that's not the point. That's not the point.
So Ben,
that is not the point.
Are you suggesting that the nature of
the crime?
I'm not calling it a crime. I don't want to listen. I'm not suggesting it's a crime. The nature of the profiteering off the presidency is the thing that is the distinction, not the profiteering.
I think what you have with the Trump family is successful individuals that actually made money, and their most successful things in life weren't what Hunter Biden was doing.
We also do know that the Trump family is influencing policy and then directly profiting from that policy.
Correct.
That is happening right now in broad daylight. The president himself is profiting off that.
We're not.
Okay, so you're just saying he's not breaking the law, but you want to trash the Trump
family.
family.
Hold on a second. I literally said.
He can't point to anything where Hunter Biden's fingerprint painting broke the law, or Hunter Biden sitting on the board of Burisma broke the law, but he still thought those things merited an investigation. See the double standards of the hypocrisy and how he's panicking in real time because he's always losing the debate, because the facts are always against him, and he's always backing the morally inferior, more unethical, more corrupt political figures. It's so funny to watch in real time. I'd love to see it. We're going to play another clip here.
All I'm saying is that if there is evidence, there would be an indictment.
He literally pressured his attorney general and fired a United States attorney who would not. Time out.
4 days before the statute of limitations.
That is not normal for a president.
Presidents had the right to fire.
No, I know that. That's not what I'm trying to. Thank you. Can I finish?
So they have to interrupt and heckle because Bakari Sellers is actually making a really compelling point. Donald Trump forced out Eric Sieber, who was his own nominee to be U.S. attorney, because Sieber wouldn't prosecute people that Trump wanted prosecuted. Trump is directly interfering in the prosecutorial decisions of the Justice Department, violating post-Nixon, post-Watergate reforms and traditions about the separation between the White House and the Justice Department. And Ben Ferguson saying, well, the president has the right to fire the U.S. attorney. Yeah, but he shouldn't be corruptly firing U.S. attorneys in order to prosecute his political opponents. That's the point. Here's another clip.
I think you're right. And obviously, I think that's not, though, what a lot of people are doing. They're saying this is the left against the right, when it's really deranged people against all of us. And I think that is, hold on, Ben. It's deranged people against all of us who are not deranged and don't go out killing people. I just don't understand what is the value in saying they did this, they did that, when it's he did it.
It happens on your show every night.
What?
Every single night, it's they did this, Republicans doing that, Trump rhetoric, this and that. It can never just focus.
No, but
every
really,
single
but like
night.
in a concrete way, what are you talking about?
Every single night it is here, and it's not just Republicans saying they did this. It's Democrats forgetting even what happened, trying to gaslight over it and say.
So who is Peyton Gendron?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
But
hold on a second, Bakari. When on the show have we blamed Republicans as a corporate group for
I didn't
murders?
say blame anyone. What I'm saying.
So that was embarrassing, this Republican strategy. You all blame Donald Trump for political violence all the time. Where? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Let's see here. We've got some more clips. We can keep doing this for days. I'm going to play one last clip here, and again, in which Ted Cruz's sidekick, Ben Ferguson, gets humiliated.
There should be more accountability for that.
Let me just ask you a question about that, okay? Because I think at the heart of so much of this is your insistence that using certain words leads to violence. Is that what you're saying?
Calling people fascists and Nazis and authoritarian, yeah.
So when Rand Paul posted this today,
this is the whataboutism.
No. I'm just here. Hold on. Rand Paul said, YouTube admitted the authoritarian Biden regime ordered them to censor Americans. He used the word authoritarian.
Yes, is it true or false?
Okay,
Google
and then let me
hold on,
and then let me play. This is Donald Trump. Just Donald Trump. Listen.
It's a choice between communism and freedom. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. There's a radical left Marxist, communist, fascist. She's a Marxist, she's a fascist.
We have short memories around here.
Who's running for
I guess
mayor in
what
New York City?
what I'm saying, Ben, what I'm asking you, Ben. Last thing,
communist?
okay,
is
guys.
It socialist?
Guys, hold on.
He's not off.
No.
You guys are running
Ben,
in here.
He was calling Biden a communist.
Ben, he was talking about
I understand.
Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Hold on a second, okay? I have a question for you. Are you so committed to this idea that we should just ban certain words from the lexicon? Authoritarian, fascist, Nazi, communist. Should we just ban them because they're all leading to violence? Or is it just that it's not okay when your political opponents use them?
I think you're incredibly smart. And I think that you're smart enough to realize.
Really condescending.
No, I think you're smart to
Whenever you
realize
start with that,
that
it's
when you
condescending.
demonize law enforcement to the point where what is happening is becoming regular against ICE agents because it's coming from people like Gavin Newsom, we should know that there is a correlation there.
Hold on. I take your point about.
It was 8 hours.
No. Hold on a second. Listen. To a degree, I take your point about demonization, I think generally. But I'm asking you about your insistence that certain words that are being used by your political opponents should be off limits. And if that is your contention, then I think lay that on the table and let's make that clear and let's apply it to everybody.
So that was embarrassing for him. Just to have Trump's own words thrown in his face like that, and to watch this goofy, dumb son of a bitch just struggle in real time with it, because of course he's a monstrous hypocrite. Again, that's what you have to be Ted Cruz's sidekick. So great performance by Adam Mockler. Definitely check him out if you haven't. He's a Midas Touch contributor. He's the founder of Mockler Media. He's doing very well on YouTube, and I love to see him. I love that point when he said the Democratic candidate who gets my vote is going to be one who says I'm going to replace Trump's presidential portraits with pictures of Trump and Epstein. That was chef's kiss. That was a top 10 moment. Well done, Adam. Everybody check it out. And in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.